Hi everyone, welcome back to Farrand on Film. We are back doing another tier list, so our screen will look very, very tiny, or our videos will do. We're going to do what I'm referring to as the Disney Classics tier list, but I feel like it's already caused some confusion in that basically what we're looking at is the 60 odd films that have been released as part of the Disney Animated Studio canon, Disney Animated canon, if you want to call it that.
Because when I hear classics, I think like 2D animated.
Okay.
I think hand drawn with like the odd CGI element thrown in. I wasn't counting the
Well, because when you
3D stuff.
said, do you mean 3D? I took that as you meaning live action for some reason. And I was like, no, we're not including all them.
We're not going through
But
Old Yeller or Homeward
yeah, we're
Bound.
not. Christ, Song of the South. None of
Yeah,
that
oh god.
stuff.
Oh, we
Yeah.
can't do Song of the
No,
South.
don't do Song of the South.
Oh.
Right. So we're going 1937 onwards. This is probably the most ambitious one that we've done.
This is huge. But we've
We
got the
might
dream
be here a
team.
while.
It's fine.
We're here.
Got the
We've
dream
got
team.
Holly's picks.
Yeah.
Holly's included in the dream team.
Well.
She is. She is. You know, there's a lot that I agree with her on.
Wow.
Some that I might not do, but we'll get there. So as you can see on the screen, we're going to do first 2-1, 2-2, third fail, and then we've got a shrug. That is a shrug emoji. I know he's little, but he's shrugging because if we've not seen it, it's going in there. Because
and chances are there will be some because we're going back to 1937. There's over 60 films here.
I'll say this now. I don't think I've seen Melody Time.
Yeah. It's a bit of a time saver as well because like there'll be somewhere we would otherwise have to try and be like, I don't know. So,
well, there's somewhere like I think if either of us two haven't seen it, Holly might have done, and there might be one of us that have seen one and the other two haven't. But it's definitely going to pick up pace around about the 70s, I'd say.
Yes.
But yeah, if not just before that. I just want to do a very cheap. I know this is going to be tiny, but here's my Farrand on Film mug. Oh, got a new mug.
What's that behind you? Just behind your head, Adam?
Oh, you mean that thing?
Oh, that thing there.
Oh, you mean that stick on the microphone as well?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's a shame it's a bit too small so that you can't, encourage people to maybe follow Farrand on Film on Twitter at the handle Farrand on Film.
Or even just like and subscribe to this podcast
that would
and
be a
the
thing you
YouTube
could do
channel.
as well.
Do
And
that.
is that on any app that you can listen to podcasts on?
It's on any and all platforms.
Oh my god!
Only the good ones, because
yeah,
only the good ones would carry Farrand on Film.
exactly.
Yeah,
and only Farrand on Film would only choose the good ones.
I would, and apparently we're big in India, which I didn't know until Spotify Wrapped came out this year.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, we're big in India.
Hello, India.
Hello, India. Let us know what you think. Right. So this is one of two new podcasts or YouTube videos, however you want to refer to them, that me and Ollie are doing this week, or putting out this week. We're feeling Christmassy. We're going to give you two. We're going to do this one.
Sit down and chat about films for 5 hours
on our first day off. Why not?
Until Amy hates Adam.
Well, she's not in the house, so she has no idea. She doesn't know. She's not. As long as I get Ruby on time from school, we're fine. It will be the entirety of her school day that I've been in this room.
Wow.
But yeah. So we're doing this, and then we're doing top 10 sequels. So that will be making its way to you very, very soon. Probably full of arguments. I don't know. We'll see how we get.
I think we'll be fine.
We'll be all right. So let's kick this one off then. Now, I found this tier list. Somebody thankfully made this one, but then in the little blurb they put, I've not put them in order of release because I'm too lazy. So I totally get that. Totally appreciate that. But I do want to go in order of release. Cool. So we're going to start with Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Now, just to say this, Amy says that I said dwarf. Weird. Dwarf?
Well, is it dwarves or dwarfs?
Dwarfs. Dwarfs with an F.
Yeah, because there is. I can't remember. This is where we could do with Holly and her English, is because there is a difference between dwarfs and dwarves.
Well, I would imagine dwarves are the plural of dwarf.
No, dwarfs can be plural. It's like it's the difference between like fish and fishes. So if you've got
Oh,
like if you've got one species of fish, it's a group of fish. If you've got
right.
several species of fish, it's lots of fishes.
Oh,
So I think it's weirdly similar to that, but I don't know how you get different species of a mythical creature.
that's bizarre. That's bizarre.
Yeah.
Anywho,
I don't know how to feel about this one
okay.
because I think gut reaction is to put it quite high because it obviously started a
It's
lot and
the
won a lot.
OG.
It's the OG, but like when you go back and watch it, it's stunning to look
Mm,
at.
mm,
It's genuinely to this day is still stunning to look at, but Snow White is an incredibly weak character herself.
yeah.
So it's a weird one. It's for me, it's hanging around that kind of 2-2-2-1 bracket.
Okay.
If it's 2-1, it's very low. I'm tempted to.
I'd agree with you.
Yeah.
Always put it as a 2-1.
Do we
So
average to 2-2?
should we go 2-2, but like top
Yeah.
end of 2-2?
'Cause for me, it's like
It's
and
still a classic.
several of my friends are going to hate this. It's like the Beatles. The
Okay.
Beatles were absolutely pioneering at the time, but you
Yeah.
can't help but feel a lot of people have come along and improved on what they've done
Yeah.
since. Like, I don't think that's unreasonable to say because people still act like the Beatles are the greatest band ever, and it's because of what they did rather than how good their music actually
Well,
is.
that makes me think of things like Come Together, in that, like, I like the song Come Together, but
Hmm.
it's very rare that I would listen to the Beatles version of it.
Yeah,
I'd listen to like everybody else's versions, you
yeah.
know. That is,
What I like about them is that they popularized that idea of we are a band and we are writing our own music together with each other in a
mm,
collaborative process. That's what they kind of made,
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah,
it
yeah.
changed how we do it. But yeah, so yeah, this is like the Beatles of Disney. It's
Okay,
it's unbelievable, but clearly improvements have been made.
yeah. So is Pinocchio the Wings then? Being as that's the next one. Um.
I low key love Pinocchio.
Oh, okay. This is interesting then.
Amy hates not Amy. Holly
Holly.
hates it, doesn't she?
Holly's put it as a third.
Oh, that's horrible. It's not a third.
I don't think it's a third.
It's not a third.
Hang on, where's my poster? There he is. Um, I'd go
It's a
2-2.
Yeah, I'd put it higher than Snow as well. I do prefer because
Okay, okay.
it's just quite a different film.
Yeah, I think, but again, I feel like a lot's come from it.
Yeah,
And can I swap those around? Yeah, okay. A lot's come from it. The whole idea of Jiminy Cricket, the When You Wish Upon a Star, which I think has sort of
that's their
grown
flagship
bigger.
song.
It's got bigger than the actual film itself, and now it's
Mm,
associated with a studio generally rather than anything else.
mm,
I think it's weird with things like this because, like yesterday, as we record this, we took Ruby to go and watch Matilda the musical, and there's a
mm.
lot of stuff in that film that I'm thinking of the Danny DeVito Matilda.
Yeah,
When they do the whole like this is Magnus thing. There's the whole Bruce Bogtrotter thing. Now, obviously, it's all based on a book, but I struggle to get the quote unquote original stuff out of my head.
yeah,
Whereas I think with Pinocchio, if you're going to be watching the Zemeckis version that's come out this year, or even the Del Toro version that's on Netflix, like you're going to have that idea of Pinocchio in your head
The Del
when you
Toro
get.
version's incredible, by the way.
I've not seen it yet.
Yeah, I mean, they shoehorn in a couple of musical numbers, and you're like, why? There's a couple that
Right.
make sense when he's like performing because you know the
Yeah.
vague story. So he's like performing, and those ones make sense, but like there's some others, and it's like, why did they need to sing that? And the songs aren't very good,
Okay.
but the animation is
The
stunning, the
animation.
design is stunning, and the way like there's so many things which are like, oh yeah, you can tell Del Toro has made this film.
Mm,
Like
good.
so with the setting and like the epilogue and stuff like that, it's very Del Toro and it's incredible. It's really
Yeah.
good.
And I'm going to try and check it out before the end of the year. Right. Number 3.
Fantasia,
1940.
isn't it?
Yeah, I'm going to lose track of the numbers, so I'll
Mm.
do it while we're still shorting. But yeah, Fantasia, 1940.
It's a
So
shrug from me, Dave.
have you not seen it?
I've not seen Fantasia.
Okay.
I know more than enough about it. I obviously know about Yin Said and da 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 da
Yeah.
and Chernobog up on the mountain and stuff like that. But I, that stuff sounds incredible. I certainly have never felt the need to sit down and actually watch it
Yeah.
because the concept's a bit, oh, okay, fine.
It's a bit bold, I think, to go into a sort of segmented narrative
Yeah.
straight after, your Pinocchio and your Snow White.
Mm.
Holly's got it as a third. I don't know if I'm going to be that harsh on it. But again, I've not seen it in years.
Mm.
I'm
I
going to
think,
go. I'm going to agree with Holly. I'm going to go third.
yeah, I think
Yeah.
we've kind of poo-hooed Holly's opinions enough. She's the only one, like, let's pretend she's the only one who's seen it
There's Holly's
recently.
veto.
Is that OG Fantasia?
That is OG
Yes, it is.
Fantasia. We'll get to
Right, okay.
2000 later. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, because again, I've not seen it in years. But again, it's not one that I've necessarily thought, oh, I'll go back to. I feel like I see the
Yeah.
Sorcerer's Apprentice stuff enough,
Yeah, and
and I would
maybe the Chernobog
imagine,
stuff.
yeah, I would imagine that like when I go to the Disney 100 concert thing in June, that I'm going to see the Sorcerer's Apprentice stuff again. Because it's the idea of that is that it's clips from Disney films with a live orchestra. So, yeah, I would imagine that that's probably when they're going to churn all that out. Right, 1941, Dumbo. Now, I think this might have been last Christmas, if not the Christmas before. I didn't realize how short Dumbo was.
Yeah, like a lot of these earlier films are just about feature length.
Yeah, Dumbo's 64 minutes.
Crazy.
So it was literally, it was on Channel 4, I think, and it was like done, in between two episodes of Buddy Four in a Bed or something.
I love Dumbo.
Dumbo is, when I went back and watched it, there's some weird stuff in it.
Oh yeah, Pink Elephants is
The pink
hilarious in
elephants.
that it just comes out of nowhere. I've got a
Yeah.
friend at university who is genuinely terrified, like unironically terrified of pink elephants.
Right.
And she directed one of the shows I was in, and I just like anytime I wanted to like mess with her, I just come up to her and like
Oh dear.
I just start doing that, and she genuinely would have to run away. It's just,
It
how can
is
you be
quite
scared of
frightening
it?
though.
It's I don't remember ever finding it frightening, and Dumbo was one of those that I did like kind of watch on repeat as a kid. I remember
Yeah.
thinking it was weird and funny. Yeah, it's just it's a weird film, isn't it?
My
And then
instant
there's,
reaction is 2-2.
yeah,
Because when I
I
watched
think
it
that's fair.
again, sort of last year, I was like, it's all right, isn't it?
Mm.
Holly's put it in a
It,
third.
it's all right for a film with racist crows in it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I will say though, compared to how, like, I'm not trying to justify racism in any way, shape, or form, but compared to how hard they could have gone with the racism, with it being the 40s, it's fairly tame. Like,
It's tamer than some of the other stuff they put out anyway.
yeah, some of the stuff that came out like years later, after the civil rights movement as well. So, like,
Yeah.
Dumbo for me is not the most egregious bit of racism in Disney. Even something like Song of the South, which is the one that's been banned and you can't watch anymore.
Yeah.
It's not a good stereotype by any stretch, but there's some stuff that comes later where it's like, how? Like, I will get to that because it's in my least favorite Disney film by a long way.
Okay.
I might even need to use a veto on it.
Oh wow. I'm gonna put Dumbo in a 2-2 then.
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Holly was quite low on it as well. Right.
I can imagine, knowing our Hall as we do, I can imagine her crusading against Jim Crow in that film, and that being why it's the third. Whereas I'm here, just typical white male. Oh, it's fine.
I feel like you've said that, but then at the same time, I've got Holly's voice in my head just going, no, it's because it's just rubbish. So,
but the train going, I think I can, as he's going up the hill. That train is amazing. Just, yes.
Right. I don't I've lost count of the numbers. I don't know. I'm still doing it. Next one is Bambi,
Oh, okay.
1942.
This is an
Right.
interesting one.
Well, I think it's interesting because I feel like there's a lot of affinity for Bambi. In
It's
the
very pretty. It's a very pretty
it's very
film.
pretty. I feel like everyone remembers the April showers bit. I feel like pop culture has been invaded by two things. One being if you slip, you go. It was like Bambi on ice.
Bambi on Ice, yeah.
And then secondly, everyone's sort of going, oh, Bambi's mum gets shot right at the beginning. Oh, isn't that awful? It's traumatizing. Da, da, da. But really, what else do you remember?
I remember it quite well because
Okay.
again, it's one of them that I did just watch loads and loads. I love the grumpy old owl who's like in charge of the forest. I love the Prince of the Forest, who probably started helping create a bit of a furry craze because he was a very pretty deer, wasn't he? I love the Twitter pated scene, where the three of them, when they're grown up, all walk through the forest convinced that they're not going to get Randy. And then
Yeah.
one by one, they fall to the Randy. Because, like, I love that scene, especially the rabbit. That rabbit is such a floozy.
You are a rabbit. By nature, you need to be
I know, yeah. But my
often doing.
favorite moment in the film is where Flower, like, they've been walking along, like, haha, nah, we're better than this. And Flower falls in love with a skunk and he's like walking away. He looks back at the lads and he's like, and then just walks off after the skunk. Like, and it's really good. I like the idea that man is the villain, and they talk about man, and you never actually see him in the film. You just see his effect. I
Yeah.
quite like Bambi. I do. Like, I know
Okay.
we're sticking a lot in 2-2,
Yeah.
and if you try to argue to me because you think it's a third and Holly says it's a third, I don't think I'd argue too hard with you. I'm certainly not going to veto it.
Holly
But
said 2-2.
I'd agree. I think 2-2 is
I'd say
good.
2-2.
Like,
At the end of the
it's
day,
a
2-2 isn't a bad thing. 2-2 is a
yeah.
kind of middle ground,
Yeah, it is a good film. It's a good one to see. Like, I remember because I think we did a Disney marathon not too long ago, and Bambi was one where it's like, yeah, that was pretty good.
Yeah.
And the music can be terrifying as well. The da 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 da. They know how to ratchet up the tension with and the bit where he's fighting off the dogs. Those dogs are terrifying.
Yeah. 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 I think there's a few here that we're going to get to where we're just going straight into shrugs.
Yeah,
Saludos amigos.
shrug.
Not a clue. Holly's not seen it either. At least I don't think she has. I think I'm not missing it off a list. No. So that's in a shrug. The Three Caballeros.
Shrug.
Shrug. Make Mine Music.
Shrug.
Shrug. I don't even know where that post. Oh, there it is. Again, like this is a bizarre run, I'd say.
Yeah.
Fun and Fancy Free.
Shrug.
Melody Time.
Shrug.
Ichabod and Mr. Toad.
Right.
Have you seen this?
I have.
Oh.
It's genuinely great.
Oh, really?
It's the Headless Horseman,
Oh.
as done
It
by
is?
Disney.
Wind
And
in the
Mr.
Willows and the Legend of
Yeah, the
Sleepy
Wind in the
Hollow.
Willows I've
What?
seen. I've not seen Wind in the Willows in years. I remember really liking it as a kid.
Yeah.
It might have to still go in Shrug because it has been a while since I've seen either of them.
Okay.
But they are good.
But maybe let's
I
check
would need
that
to
out,
rewatch.
possibly.
I would need to rewatch it just to. Yeah, I would recommend. I'd put that at the top of Shrug because it does need to check out that one. Ichabod especially is, like, for the time, it's horrifying imagery. The reveal of the Headless Horseman is incredible.
Yeah.
Like,
I was just reading this now. So the film is the last of the studio's package film era of the 1940s, following Saludos, Three Caballeros, Make My Music, Fun and Fancy Free, and Melody
so
Time.
we get back into the proper stuff.
Yeah. Disney would not produce another package film until The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh in 1977. What do you mean by package film?
Like, it's so that, like Fantasia, it's not one film from
So they
start to finish.
pumped a lot of things together.
It's a
Right,
bundle
okay.
of little narratives, effectively.
Right. What I'll do then is I'll put it in Shrug. I'm intrigued to see if these are on Disney Plus.
Yeah, they are.
Are they? Right, okay. There you are. Right, Ichabod and Mr. Toad. Right, okay. So
Oh,
again,
you're kidding.
what?
Your organization manages your update settings. Your organization will restart your device at
Oh,
10:19.
10:19. So at 20 in 14 minutes, Ollie's gonna get turned off, is what's gonna happen.
Or I could restart now.
If you want to restart now and nobody will know any different, you restart now.
Well, I'm giving you the cut. We've got a clean
Here's the
cut.
cut. Are you ready for
We've got
this?
to
I'm
do
gonna
some
clap,
editing,
and then
apparently.
it's gonna right.
Right.
He's here. Right.
He's back. He's back.
We're in. Nobody would know any different at all.
Yeah.
Right. So 1950 Cinderella.
Mm-hmm.
Where is she down here? Where are you, Cinders?
Cindy.
There we go. So the thing with all those classic posters, they are very similar.
Yeah.
So let's kick off with where Holly's put it. Holly's got it in a 2-2.
I think that's fair.
Yeah. I don't have much of affinity for it. I know it's, again, another sort of landmark one. I don't know how many times I watched it as a kid.
I can't remember if Georgia would have it higher.
Okay.
But I think it's toward the top end of 2-2, especially compared to these films.
Yeah. I do feel like at the minute we're relying on nostalgia of watching as a kid.
Yeah.
Whereas when we get to, I'd say 80s, we're now in like, don't you dare touch these films. These are the best films ever. And then maybe past that point, you're like, it's just not as good as it used to be.
Maybe late 80s. Maybe late 80s.
Okay.
That one.
Yeah.
Early 80s. Oh, no.
Okay. Alice in Wonderland.
I am tempted to say third.
Holly's got it as a 2-1.
Oh, for Christ's sake. Of course she does.
Why? Like, again, I've not seen this in years.
It's a bit... Nah. It, like, those package films...
Yeah.
That they're no longer doing. It just feels like that. And I get that that's the point. I get that it's Wonderland. I get that there's meant to be no rules. I get there's meant to be no kind of structure or rhyme or reason or anything. But it was just a bit, oh, okay. Then there's a walrus that eats some clams and their babies, and it's horrifying. Okay, cool. Now there's a queen who likes to scream. She's fun, I guess.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I feel like I'm gonna have to meet you at 2-2 because if Holly's put it as a 2-1,
fine. Like I'm not. Like I said, I was tempted to say third. It's not.
Yeah.
On balance, it probably is at least as good as like Dumbo. It's just
okay.
And it ends with, oh, and it was all a dream, which I know isn't the fault of the film. Yeah. You know, it is based on the source material and it's doing it really well from what I can gather. But that just makes it a crap story. Like,
well, a 1953 Peter Pan.
Now, I kind of love Peter Pan.
I'd go easy 2-1 here.
Yeah,
I feel like I'm starting that as a base.
Yeah, I think I can agree with that.
Holly's gone 2-1.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Across the board, I'll agree with that.
Yeah, there are troublesome scenes.
Oh God, yeah, Man Red. Jesus, I forgot about that.
But
I think that's more egregious than the crow scenes in Dumbo.
Yeah, I think a lot of the imagery is still there.
Yeah,
very much ingrained in my head. You know, the flying past the clock and all that kind of. I tell you what I watched recently. Chippendale Rescue Rangers.
Yeah, with Pete. Yeah,
with old Peter Pan as the villain,
voiced by Will Arnett.
Yeah, that was quite good.
God, what was I going to say? Captain Hook is probably to this day still the funniest Disney villain.
Yes, so much character in that villain.
Yeah, he's really funny. His scenes with the crocodile. I love that we're effectively laughing at a man with PTSD because he had his hand.
This is it. It's like he's absolutely traumatized by the idea of a crocodile. Somebody saying crocodile and a clock.
Yeah. Da 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 Like, it's so good. I'm probably gonna get us copyright stricken because Disney's
Ah,
like,
well,
oh, we can
it's
recognize
fine.
that.
It's
And
fine.
like, they came up with a song for it that you never heard in the film once, but you kind of know it.
Yeah.
Never smile at a crocodile. No, you can't be friendly with a crocodile. Take the coats. Like,
Oh,
yeah, it's incredible.
yeah.
And the
Enjoy it.
slapstick scenes are really good. It's weirdly tense in moments
Mm?
as well.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. 2-1.
and yeah, we've got Alice back in a better role as Wendy Moira Angela Darling. Same voice actress.
Same voice actress.
I'm pretty sure she still voices both of them today in like Kingdom Hearts games and stuff like that.
Jesus Christ. That's insane.
Mm.
1955, Lady and the Tramp.
I really like Lady and the Tramp, you know.
Yeah, I don't mind it.
I really like it. I think high
I don't think I like
2-2,
it as
low
much.
2-1 for me.
Okay. Because I was going to say I don't like it as much as Peter Pan.
No, I don't, but
Holly's got it as a 2-2.
I think, yeah, that's fair.
2-2?
High 2-2, though. It's
High
so
2-2.
wholesome. And I like as well that Tramp's got personality about him, which is more than can be said for a lot of the human characters up till now.
The thing that Disney do well, though, is these anthropomorphized animals, personification, if you will. There you are, Lady and the Tramp.
And the scene with the spaghetti, it's just iconic.
Yes. But again, like, I remember that playing through, like, when you used to get the videos and they'd play you so many, they'd have like an opening to it and you'd see that on the front of every video. Yeah, like a Disney sizzle reel.
Because they knew how iconic that shot was.
Yeah.
And like, and her looking away all sly and him rolling over a meatball to her.
Oh, yeah, softy.
And how did they manage to get a rat to be that terrifying?
Yeah. Well, rats are awful little things. Sleeping Beauty, 1959.
Well, this is reminding me as well because this has started the trend of Disney saying, "Hey, we like you as a voice actor. Let's get you in again." Because obviously they got Alice back as Wendy, Lady is back as Merryweather here.
Oh.
I'm gonna push for 2-1 for Sleeping.
Always gone 2-1.
I think 2-1. Like Maleficent is one of the most iconic Disney villains ever.
Even if the films are rubbish. Ruby likes them. I don't.
The film's fine. It's just a standard. I love the two kings. I love that scene where they're getting drunk and they end up fighting with like a fish and a plate. And then they realize that they're being stupid and they just laugh it off like mates would. Philip again has got some personality about him, but I'm ready for Georgia to kick down this door because she hates Philip because Philip didn't kill Maleficent. The fairies did.
Right.
Even though he threw the sword, they did him a magic and all that stuff. But magic. It's got nice, funny bits. She loves as well, and I agree with her. She said, "Do you remember when they're making the cake for her at the beginning? And he just kind of falls all over the place."
Yeah.
And she says that cake is the most delicious looking thing she's ever seen on film. I know what she means. Yeah. I want that cake. I want to eat that specific cake that Flora's making. And like the fairies are funny. Like Merryweather's wearing the dress, like as they're trying to make it, and she's like, "It looks awful," and Flora's like, "That's because it's on you, dear." Like, snap.
I will just apologize to people watching on YouTube who I totally forgot that for a second I had an itchy foot, so I muted my microphone to turn and itch my foot, and then you've all just seen me itch my foot. So enjoy that. I feel like I should start an OnlyFans.
Yeah, bonus.
Yeah,
let's put that behind a paywall.
Yeah. That's me retired, right? Where are we? 1961, 101 Dalmatians.
Again, I love this.
Yeah.
2-1. I love 101 Dalmatians. I remember being surprised when we did the watch through of how much I enjoyed it.
Holly's been very harsh here. Holly's put it as third.
She can get in the bin.
I don't agree with that, Hol. I apologize.
She can get in the bin. It is that's
wow.
That's one of the good comedies that they've made as well. Like, that's clearly the
Yeah.
vibe they've gone for.
Yeah.
It's a really good comedy, and it's just funny. I love how the subtle little things that they do to get it from the perspective of the dogs.
Yeah.
And
I'm with you
I
on a
love
2-1.
I love that they give all the puppies like actual personality
Mm.
as well. Not all 101 of them, but like the original 15, like the
Yeah.
litter they have.
Yeah.
They've
Yeah.
all got personality. They've all Sergeant Tibbs, the
Sergeant
sergeant,
Tibbs.
the captain, and the colonel. What a
Yeah.
dream team! Jasper and Horace.
Yeah.
Cruella de Vil. The music in this is hilarious. The
Yeah.
main song that's come out of this is Roger just roasting his wife's mate from college. Like, let's
It's
be
a
real. That's what this.
classic.
Yeah, and like I remember thinking when I went to Disneyland at like the age of 12. You know when they do like the big light show.
Yeah.
And it's Mickey like taking on all the Disney villains, and Cruella de Vil's in there, and I'm thinking, you don't belong here. Like you've got like a magic, you've got like a witch, you've got a bunch of witches and like people of power, Scar, who's a king at some point, and then you've got just this random fashionista who's not against skinning puppies. You are not on the same level, but you belong here in terms of like she's as iconic as those characters. She is as
Yes.
iconic as Maleficent and
Yeah.
the
Yeah. Yeah.
Evil Queen and she did it. She's not as powerful. Like it's incredible what she's managed.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, 101 Dalmatians is great.
63. Sword in the Stone.
Right. I'm about to go hard for Sword in the Stone.
Okay.
I genuinely think if Sword in the Stone was released today, we'd
Yeah.
be talking about it in the same kind of with the same kind of love as like a Frozen or a Tangled or something
Wow.
like that. Because it's a very ahead of its time film.
Okay.
Like Merlin is just there, left, right, and center, breaking the fourth wall.
I can't. I have seen this. I saw it when I was a kid, but I really don't remember too much about it, to be honest.
I really need to go to bat for it. It's at
Right.
least a 2-1.
Holly's put it as a
Easy.
2-1.
I would be tempted to even argue a first. Genuinely, it's that good. If we're thinking I'm being
I'm
silly,
gonna have to trust your judgment on it. I think.
I'm fine with Holly's judgment of a 2-1 because maybe first is getting a bit carried away. It could just be that because Sword in the Stone is one of those you don't see a lot of merchandise for. Clearly, Disney aren't big fans of it.
Yeah.
But it's such a different film. It's a night like, and it's educational. It's genuinely like the whole point of it is that Merlin and Archimedes are teaching Arthur. So there's some lovely bits of education in there.
Right.
And like I said, like the way it's written is very modern. Like Merlin talks about like things in the modern day. So he talks about, oh, blow me to Bermuda. And Arthur's like, wait, what's Bermuda? And Archimedes is like, oh, it's probably some land that hasn't been discovered yet. Like, but it's genuinely like that. There's loads of things that Merlin just casually references that are going to happen in the future. And everyone around him is really confused. Archimedes has learned to kind of take it in his stride because he lives with him. But Merlin, because he like knows what's happening in the future, he just really casually ends up referring to it in conversation. Okay. It's a very modern way of having written dialogue for a character like that, and it's dead clever. Like I would recommend giving it a watch as well because it's quite a short film. It's something I might do. You could probably just whack it on very quickly.
There's going to be a bit of stuff this week that I want to watch with Ruby anyway, so I think it might be, you know.
I would have this above Peter Pan.
Okay.
I'm happy for you to have Sleeping Beauty at the bottom of this pile.
Yeah.
Because I think, excuse me.
There's the winter podcast.
I know, yeah, Christ. In terms of what we got in 2-1, I think that is the order so far. But yeah,
we're potentially about to break the glass ceiling. 1967 Jungle Book.
What are we saying?
First.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, be it. What's Holly said?
First. Sorry. So where are you putting it?
I hate Jungle Book.
What?
I hate
How do you
Jungle
hate
Book
Jungle Book?
because it really is this. It's the start of this middle period of Disney where everything about it was just wrong. Like, instead of having these kind of like timeless musical numbers that could fit into kind of slot into any era. I know the music in like Snow White is quite old fashioned and warbly, but you could update that quite easily.
Right.
Whereas like the musical numbers in this are like, oh, what's popular right now? These kids seem to like jazz. Let's give King Louis a goddamn jazz number. Oh, who
Oh,
beats it? Like, oh, for God's
don't
sake,
even diss
really?
Doo.
I hate it.
Genuinely,
I
right? And
hate Be Like
I'm not
You.
just saying this because I've tried to put it as like a first or whatever. Right. Ruby, yeah. When
Mm,
Ruby was a baby, more so when she was a baby. I still do it every now and again now, but it used to be Ruby do. I want to be like you, all that kind of
right,
stuff.
but of course
And
it is, and like,
yeah. So it was nice, and like genuinely, like, Amy said this to me, and it almost like melted my heart when
mm,
Ruby had meningitis. So she got meningitis when she was like 10 months old.
yeah.
She was in hospital for about a week, and she wouldn't settle. And Amy never sang it to her. It was always my thing. The only thing that settled her was Amy singing that to her.
Mm.
So like
Well, that's not fair. I can't argue with that. That's
no, like,
something
so
that has
that's
a
obviously
deep
got like an
that
affinity
has a
in my
deep
heart
emotional
anyway.
connection with you and your
Yeah,
child, and that's
but
very
then
much you playing the "you wouldn't understand, you're not a parent" card, Mr.
I'm gonna
Farrand.
manipulate you.
Yeah, and at the same time, I'm sorry. This is Edgelord coming back with a
Oh,
vengeance.
here we go.
Bare Necessities can get in the bin. It's a
What's up with the bare
terrible song.
necessities?
It is a terrible song. There's
Look
like
for the bare
it's awful.
necessities, the
And
simple
also,
bare
I
necessities.
realized as well, I hate that voice actor for Baloo.
Why?
I hate him because he's indicative again of this period. They keep using him in these films that I think are just crap. There's one film he's in which I think, you know what? I like that film. But he's in about 5 Disney films and I hate them all because it's this
Edgy,
middle
edgy
period where
Edgelord.
the animation quality is through the toilet and all the songs are like, "Ooh, what's popular right now?" Ugh. Look,
Oh
I don't
dear.
I don't care about this enough to veto. You know what? I
Don't you
do.
dare. Don't you
Veto.
dare.
Veto. We get 3. We get 3. I'm calling one of them. I'll have it in 2-2 as a compromise for you,
How
but
is
I'm
that
vetoing it.
a case?
I'd
I
be
feel like
failing it.
I feel like
I'd
there
be
needs to be
failing it.
rules here.
I
In that
what?
me and Holly have put it in a first.
Veto.
Oh my god,
Ve-
Holly,
ve-
I
veto number
apologize.
veto number 1.
I
Have it at the
apologize.
top of 2-2 if you want.
Yeah, I am. I'm putting it there.
Can have it right there if you want. But that is my compromise as
Stuff
well.
Lady and the Tramp. Oh,
And I
how
need you to realize that my veto is a compromise because if it was up to me, it'd be in a fail.
I wish I could veto a veto because your
Mm.
veto that's coming later, I want to veto it already
Hey,
to
I'm,
dump it
but
in a fail.
hey, I am compromising with this, and I need you to remember that when
Oh
it comes to
really?
these
Oh
veto.
really?
Yeah, because I
Really?
said, because what you know about, I'm not going to put it where you think I'm going to put it.
Oh yeah, here we go.
I'm not.
Just to mention, people, if we're not already, we've got 3 vetoes, and I always just use one. Yeah. So
The only bit I like about that film is the
disgraceful.
elephants. The elephants are hilarious.
Disgraceful. That's disgusting. That's disgusting.
Ugh.
Can't believe you've just done that. That's your edgiest
Well,
edgelord take ever.
no.
I'm waiting for you to put Die Hard 2 Die Harder in your top 10 sequels later. Right. 1970, Aristocats.
Fail.
Always got it in a third.
It's a fail. Like it's awful. This is the egregious bit of racism I'm talking about as well.
We are Siamese, if you please.
No, that's Lady and the Tramp,
Oh,
which
sorry. Right. Okay.
upon reflection we should have kind of addressed a little bit,
Yeah.
but this is a Siamese cat. Let me find the lyrics. Like it might be uncomfortable, but what is it? Everybody wants to be a cat. And this again is like the height of
Just to fight back against you, I'm putting it in a third.
it genuinely it's so bad.
I have a bit of an affinity for it. I remember it being re-released around about a time where I would have watched it for the first time, and that Everybody Wants to Be a Cat I quite enjoyed. You know, it's not
they're
up there.
trying to. Oh, hang on, I might have found it. Where is it? Because it's the bit where he's like it's a Siamese cat playing the piano with chopsticks.
Oh my god, I do
And
not
what does
remember that.
he's like, and he makes like horrific, stereotypical, like Far East Asian noises.
A live action remake is currently in development. That's just got cats written all over it.
And but it's just, and none of all of the lyrics have removed it. So all of the lyrics that I found online have removed it.
Right. Okay.
And it's like Shanghai Peking Fonhu or something, and then Fortune Cookie always got wrong, and then he does like a stupid gurning laugh. Like it's as bad as Mickey Rooney in Breakfast at Tiffany's.
Wow.
It is that racist. It's awful. It's so uncomfortable to watch. And again, we got Thomas O'Malley's voice actor back from Baloo.
Yeah.
So I hate that. There's two things I like about this film: Edgar, who is very funny,
mm-hmm.
and the geese. The geese are pretty funny as well.
Okay.
Where they're like waddling along. The kittens annoy me. I don't like any of them. And how do you make kittens annoying? Kittens are great. Kittens are incredible, and you've made them detestable.
Just get off the fence.
Maria's an insufferable little bint. Mama, he was here the whole time. Toulouse, the fat ginger one with it. Oh, it's dead.
I feel like we've found your issue period.
I hate Aristocats with a passion. This is easily the worst Disney film. It's the worst one.
Okay. What am I talking about now? Robin Hood, 1973.
This is the one film with that voice actor that I like because it's genuinely funny.
Okay.
It's genuinely funny.
Yeah, it's all right, Robin Hood.
Yeah, I think
Holly's 2-1'd it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I was expecting lower. I was going to try and tease with a high 2-2. I'm happy. Where do you stand on it?
I'd say 2-2.
Okay, I get the casting vote. I'm gonna say high 2-2.
Okay.
High 2-2.
It's not going. It's not going above Jungle Book. Jungle Book's staying there.
No, it's funnier.
Hang on.
I love Prince John in it as well. Actually.
You've had your veto to bring it down. You're not vetoing it, moving it around. That's not a thing. Like, we had our first in first, and you've fobbed it off.
Well, it needed to be the right one to go into first, didn't it? So.
1977, Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh.
I'm tempted.
I don't recall this at all.
I've seen it quite recently. I watched it a lot as a kid. I loved Winnie the Pooh as a kid. It's a very, very childish film. Which you're gonna be like, well, yeah, it's Disney, but like,
I'll go with you on this because Holly's not seen it.
Yeah, I think it's a third. I think it's very kiddie.
Okay.
I don't mean like you wouldn't put this, like you could put this on for Ruby, but I think Ruby is old enough now where she'd be bored by it. It's very, you whack it on for your toddler to get them to sit down and stop hitting things with a spoon.
Right. Rescuers, 1977.
Have you seen it?
I think so. I remember Down Under more. Holly's got it in 2-2.
I think that's fair.
So again, I'd go that.
I remember bits of the music being really good. Like there's a bit in the swamp that is genuinely incredible. Like it's really ominous.
I swear to God, these posters are getting harder to find with the
Oh, have you
less that there
seen?
are.
Have you heard the urban legend? Well, it's not an urban legend. It is true. It's
The
proven.
naked woman.
The naked woman in
Yeah,
one of the
yeah,
windows.
yeah.
It's hilarious, like what they've been getting away with. Like,
Fox
shockingly,
and the
they've managed to.
Hound.
You won't find that on Disney Plus. They've managed to find
Oh,
that
they got
trailer
rid
and
of
remove
it.
it. Yeah.
Oh, the ingrates.
Yeah, that
Um,
incredibly pixelated image of a woman.
it was the only bit of blue on Disney Plus. It's actually not. Disney Plus has turned into something else with a star in the
Oh yeah.
mix.
Nothing quite like watching Die Hard on the same channel I can watch Mickey Mouse.
That's ridiculous. 1981, Fox and the Hound.
2-1.
Now, okay. Holly's gone 2-2.
Mm-hmm.
I've not seen it.
It's
Amy loves it though.
It's a 2-1. It's
Okay.
such a good story.
Right.
Of two friends across the way. Quite short, really good film. The bear at the end is terrifying.
Yeah.
And you know that this is a good-looking Disney film because Don Bluth worked on it.
Okay.
It was the last one he worked on before he left to make his own studio.
What was his studio?
Just Don Bluth Studios. So he made Secret
American
of
Tail.
NIMH, American Tail, Land Before Time.
Right. Yeah.
And then it all kind of went downhill. Like, he didn't half make some crap after that.
Wow. Not everyone can win.
Mm.
Black Cauldron, 1985.
This is a weird one.
I feel like I'm rattling through these because I know we're going to slow down in a sec.
Yeah. Black Cauldron is a weird one.
I don't think I've seen it.
I admire what it was trying to do.
Yeah.
I don't think you can have this anywhere other than fail for the fact that it genuinely nearly killed Disney.
Okay. Well, Holly's not seen it, so you can have that in a fail.
And it's a shame because like John Hurt voices the villain.
Yeah. So there was promise there.
Oh yeah. Like anytime he's on screen, it's incredible. Its problems are that like the main character is, one of those heroes that kind of wants for something more but has nothing to back it up.
Yeah.
So they constantly kind of need rescuing, or they need a MacGuffin to save them or something like that.
Yeah.
None of the jokes land. Literally none of them. I have sat and watched it a number of times and seen, does anything in this make me laugh? No.
Okay.
Nothing in it is funny. And the source material is quite weird. It's based on like Welsh legend. So the MacGuffin in it is that Taran is a pig keeper, and he has a pig where if you stick her snout into water, she can see the future, which gives you visions of stuff. Right. So the villain is after this pig so he can find the Black Cauldron, which will allow him to raise an army of the dead and take over the world. It's very weird.
That sounds bizarre.
Yeah, there is a princess. I can't remember her name because why would I? But the princess character in it is actually quite good. She rescues herself.
Right.
And she says, I'm just in the process of escaping. You can come along if you like. And Taran, being the idiot that he is like, can I? And she's like, well, yes, I did just say that, didn't I? I'm rescuing myself, but if you want to come along as well. Like, she's quite a good character, but that's her only scene of her being kind of genuinely awesome. But yeah, it's a mess of a film.
1986, Two Your Mates have popped up for the first time. Clements and Musker for Basil the Great Mouse Detective.
2-1.
Oh, you straight in at a 2-1 for Basil.
2-1. This saved Disney.
I'm with you on that, to be honest. I love Basil.
It's such a good film, and I'm sorry. Vincent Price set the standard here for voice acting in Disney films. Like every amazing, especially a villain's performance after this.
Yeah.
You can see that they've kind of been like, oh, this is how to do it. Like, don't get me wrong, Maleficent is incredible, but she's very of the time. Like, and she wasn't out and out a celebrity name in the way that Vincent Price was. Like, Vincent Price had like Hollywood pedigree by this point.
I was reading up on the sort of after effects of Black Cauldron on it. Well, like, you know, they had to move studios.
Have
And...
have you seen the film that did better than it in the
No?
cinema in its release? A re-release of Care Bears did
Oh,
better in the
oh
cinema
dear.
than Black Cauldron did.
Oh dear. Nobody likes Care Bears.
But
I feel like
yeah,
there's a whole section of the internet that is just going to
Mm.
latch on that, actually.
I
So
know.
that's
I mean,
that.
but Great Mouse Detective is a weird one because the plot of the film is a bit. I mean, it's Sherlock Holmes for kids, so they have to dumb it down quite a bit. But I just love the relationship between Basil and Rattigan.
Yeah.
It's
Like the
incredible.
archetype hero villain
Yeah,
relationship, but like that kind of almost Batman Joker of like
yeah, and
just
I
been
love.
around for that long.
Yeah, and I love as well, like, because they explain why he doesn't wait for the villain. The villain doesn't wait for the hero to die because
Yeah.
he wants to kill him in an elaborate way, and he admits it's silly. And then he says, "Now I would stick around to make sure this worked, but you were 15 minutes late." And he's like mocking him again because it's like, "Oh, you arrived later than I thought you would," because he planned for him to arrive late. And I love the sequence in the clock tower right at the end. You know, after they've crashed into Big Ben.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure that's the first use of CG in a Disney film, are the cogs on the inside of the clock tower.
Mm.
And that sequence with the music and Basil saving Olivia from getting squashed, and then Rattigan just going full beast mode and like beating the crap out of Basil.
I'm distracted because Holly's about to have an input on your veto.
I don't remember asking.
I said he's had a disgusting veto, and then she put, "I'm ready to be outraged." So I said, I put Jungle Book in a first with you, and he vetoed it to 2-2. That's absolutely unacceptable. I veto his veto.
You have no power here,
Oh,
Matthias.
talking smack he is. Oh dear. Right. Oh, right. Oliver and Company, before things really begin to kick off.
This is a weird one because I kind of love it.
Do you remember it being re-released?
No.
I remember not knowing anything about it, and then all of
I
a sudden it being on a Happy Meal.
Well, I remember being confused because I thought it was released in the Renaissance.
Yeah, because it was
And
just
and that might have been for the re-release of it. They might have been, they thought it could have done better now that Disney was really popular again. Well, it is actually like, as Disney retellings of
it
like
was
classic
re-released in
tales go,
'96. So
like
yeah,
as a retelling of Oliver Twist, it's really good.
yeah.
I really like
The
it.
thing with stuff, the thing with Oliver Twist, right, is it's one of those stories that the government will always put on an English curriculum, no matter what happens, right? It'll always end up on there. But then I feel like teachers end up struggling for a good, what they refer to as a quote unquote good adaptation of it to try and at least get the base story in the students' heads. And you always revert back to that 60s version. Whereas actually, if you're
That
struggling with a
terrible
class,
musical.
yeah, stick Oliver and Company on.
Yeah.
Like, come on,
Because
does the same job.
It's got some brutal deaths in there as well. Like the two Dobermans that get thrown onto the train line and electrocuted. And then Sykes' car getting hit by a train. That's awesome.
Yeah. And I just need to find Holly's list again because I don't know if she's seen it or not. No, it's not on her list.
Where would you put it?
I'd say probably top of 2-2.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah. But again, it's not going as high as Jungle Book.
So not the top of 2-2.
No, just before. All right, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. And if you've not listened back, people, me, Holly, and Ollie did a whole big podcast on the Disney Renaissance. So if you've not listened back to that, you can go back and listen to it and find out what we properly think of a deep dive of these films. But we're going to kick off with Rescuers Down Under. No, we're not. We're kicking off with Little Mermaid.
Little Mermaid?
I apologise. Little Mermaid.
It's got to be a first, hasn't it?
Oh, here he is. It's got to be a first. Do I be cruel and veto him? No, I won't be cruel and veto. Holly's put it as a first as well.
Yeah,
We don't have Disney. I'll agree with you both.
For better or worse, we don't have Disney today without this.
In my
set the standard.
sort of current age, I think this is probably one of the least I've seen of the period that we're about to go
Yeah.
into. But when I was younger, I definitely watched it a lot because my
I'm
sisters
the
were
other
fans of
way.
it. Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm the other way. This is one that I just never got around to watching that much as a kid. I watched this
Right.
one much later and was blown away by it. And
See,
yeah, just
the thing with Ruby now, like we took her to Disney on Ice recently,
mm,
and like she knows all the characters, she knows them all. I don't recall her having seen this watching it all the way through, but she knows who Ariel is.
mm,
So it's a bizarre sort of thing how younger people are noticing these characters. I think they end
yeah,
up in other things, don't they? And they end up in bits and bats here and there and all that kind of stuff. But I think in terms of music, you're definitely up there, aren't you?
yeah. Even there's like three songs in the whole thing, unless
But
you're counting
again,
Les Poissons.
so yeah, but your three songs are what? Kiss the Girl.
Oh, I forgot about Kiss the Girl, actually, to be fair.
Oh, right, okay, right. So Kiss the
Under
Girl
the
Under the Sea,
Part of Your World,
Part of
Poor
Your World.
Unfortunate Souls.
Yeah, and like again, that's all you need to anchor a film.
Yeah,
You know, I'd say it's better to have 4 knockouts than
yeah,
3 and 6 mez.
yeah.
Um, yeah. Rescuers Down Under.
I'd love to champion this for a first, but I don't know if that's overreaching.
I'm intrigued with where we all stand on this because I have a massive affinity for it. I remember watching it as a kid, and very vividly remember watching it as a kid, which automatically makes me want to go 2-1 at least.
Yeah,
Holly's got it in a third,
absolutely getting the bin.
which I think is too harsh.
It's entirely too harsh. It's an
Yeah.
incredible film. It's gorgeous. The villain in it is great. Most of the comic relief is good because you've got John Candy as either Wilbur or Orville. I can't remember which way around it is.
This is Wilbur, I think. Is it?
Yeah, because the whole joke is that they're the Wright brothers, which is quite cute.
Yes, he is. He's Wilbur, yeah.
And yeah, it's just, oh God, this has just occurred to me. God damn
What?
it. Nah,
What?
we'll talk about it later.
Do you think you've run out of vetoes? Woo!
No, I don't think I've got a veto this. I want to agree with. I think first might be overreaching.
I'll go 2-1.
I think 2-1. Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah, I'm with you on 2-1. There you are. Right.
It's gorgeous. It's absolutely
No,
stunning.
it is. It is.
Like everyone, I've said this before. Everyone rightly praises How to Train Your Dragon for like nailing what it's like to fly in animation.
Yeah.
This did it in 1990. This was doing it like near 15 years before.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Definitely. Here we go.
Get it up there.
Oh God.
Get it up there.
He's in straight already.
Like, come on.
Hey, there we go.
I think this would annoy Holly more if you tried to argue this. It's definitely better than Little Mermaid.
Obviously, it's in Holly's first list. This is Beauty and the Beast.
Yes.
It's
objectively the best Disney film.
I mean, I don't agree with that, but I'll agree that it's the first.
Objectively the best. It's objectively the best.
I keep thinking of the stage show,
I love the stage show for this. I think it's one of the ones that really does translate well.
It really does. It really
Little
does.
Mermaid suffers a bit because the new songs are a bit naff. Other than the one that they give to Flotsam and Jetsam, they get a really good song.
Oh, really?
In the stage show. But the rest of the songs are a little bit okay. They give Scott a song, and it's weird.
Oh, they're supposedly touring Aladdin in the UK next year.
Okay, Aladdin's okay. It's a little bit pantomime.
I wouldn't mind going watching it though.
No, it's definitely worth a watch.
Yeah.
I just be prepared. Be prepared. Wrong film, I guess. Just be prepared to be a bit disappointed with the genie.
Okay.
Because they have to do it differently, and they end up changing all of his songs. They've all got that kind of kind of
Oh
beat behind
no.
it,
Oh
which is a
no.
shame because I don't mind that for Friend Like Me because it's already kind of got that.
Yeah.
But Prince Ali having that was a big no for me. A big no.
Yeah.
I genuinely thought like Will Smith. I preferred how Will Smith did it in his film to how the musical did it.
All right. Okay.
But yeah, Beauty and the Beast
Yeah.
translates really well because I think that was the one where they were thinking we're making stage shows out of this.
Oh, Be Our Guest. Like, I've
Oh,
never
it's
seen anything like that.
phenomenal,
My
phenomenal.
God. Like, I thought everything up to that point was sort of like not straightforward, but I was like, oh, this is good. And then the minute that the amount of stuff that moved around that
I
stage.
know, it's mad, isn't it?
Jesus Christ.
I remember thinking that when we did an amateur production of it, and it's
Oh
like
my
obviously it's going
God.
to have nothing on a professional one.
Like, just where do you fit it all? Honestly.
Mm.
Right. Aladdin, 1992.
Still first.
I'm going first. Like,
Yeah,
Holly's gone first.
yeah, it's the
Like,
first.
these are where I'm like, does Ollie like it as much as he likes that thing? And, you know. But,
Well, I love Aladdin. I think Genie is the funniest character in any Disney film. So,
yeah. Yeah.
mm,
Lion King,
veto. No, I'm kidding.
you shut your face. That
Go on, get it up
I'd
there.
break my
Get
own
it.
rules and I'd
I
boot
know.
you off the call.
Get it up there. Like I know I have given this film stick in the past. I know. I have never once said I don't love this film.
Yeah.
Never once. My only point has been I don't get the people who idolize this film as the greatest thing Disney have ever done. It is easily a first though. It's phenomenal.
I think it's the best one that they've done. In terms of idolizing, I wouldn't say I idolize, but I do think it's head and shoulders above everything else that they've done. So, but that's probably just me. Well,
In terms of that ranking, I would probably have Little Mermaid at the bottom. Probably Lion King second.
I'd go like that, but then I would.
Yeah.
I think you and Holly wouldn't have it as.
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
To be fair, it's close for me. There are some moments that I watch in Lion King where I think this is cinema.
Yeah.
Like, I might have even said
it's a spectacle, and
yeah,
like
you've talked about if an alien landed and you wanted to, and they said, "What's all this film business?" You could show them Jurassic Park. I do think out of the Disney films, Lion King is the one you'd show them rather than Beauty and the Beast. I guess I just prefer the story in Beauty and the Beast. I prefer the animation. I prefer the music. Definitely prefer the music in Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's close. That stampede scene chills every single time. And Jonathan Taylor Thomas acting his little heart out when he says anybody and he's breaking down. Find me a child actor that good.
It still looks amazing as well.
Yeah, but so does Beauty and the Beast.
No, yeah, they do. You know, I think all of these that we're talking about. Well, we're about to get on to Pocahontas.
Yeah, right. I might go to bat for Pocahontas a little bit here.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
It is a massive drop-off from...
Holly said you need a smack. Just throw that out there. That just came through.
Where are you putting Pocahontas?
I'd fail it.
Really?
Yeah, I'd fail it.
I don't think it's that bad.
I don't think it's that bad. Hang on. Colours of the Wind and Just Around the River Bend.
And
third.
And Savages.
Yeah, third.
And then. Savages. And the fact that Nico, Flair, and Percy are some of the best animal characters put to film.
Fair enough. Maybe I was too harsh. I'd go third. I'm not going any higher than the third.
What's Holly said?
Holly said third.
Because I do think we were I get all the criticism. Like,
it's a stink in that period of time.
It is, but it's only because I think its main problem is that it just took itself a bit too seriously.
Okay.
I think the tone of the film, like, I get it's tackling serious things.
Yeah.
But I think if it had taken itself a little bit, less seriously, And if Pocahontas had been the right age, if she'd been a child, I think we'd be looking at this as, yeah, it's a drop off, but it's it's actually quite a good film.
Yeah, I think I have more of affinity for the songs than anything else. Like the funniest backstage story or behind the scenes story, whatever it is you want to call it, is the idea that people were jumping off the Lion King to go and work on this.
And
Like,
Beauty and the Beast.
yeah, like come on,
Yeah.
what are you doing?
Oh, I
You
know.
absolute
I know. I
numpty.
know.
It's gonna have to go third.
George is going to be fuming. Because this did find its audience. It really did.
Nah.
And like,
You're outvoted.
Like that notion of just wanting to be at one with nature and stuff like that. And as well, like people talk about her being sexualized. Well, if you look at her costume, she's not.
No.
Really. She's actually quite a bit like compared to like Jasmine. Like she's not particularly sexualized. And even stuff like, oh, she moves animalistically. Yeah, she's trying to move stealthily. Like she's trying to creep. I don't know. I think we did beat on this film a bit when there are some redeeming things about it. Like
there are some. I'll give you some.
The art style has grown on me a bit. I like that. I get what they were trying to do with bits of it now.
Yeah.
It failed in what he was trying to do, but I get what they were going for.
Yeah. If you're interested in watching a sequel of Pocahontas, you can go and watch Avatar: The Way of Water.
See what you did there.
Why would you bother? Apparently, it's very uneven. Unsurprisingly. Right. Oh, God. Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Veto before you say anything.
Where are you putting it?
Right. I'm going to be really nice. I'm going to be really goddamn nice, and I'm going to put it in 2-1.
Yeah, because it's not a first. You've got to admit that it's not a first.
I think it is, but I'm willing to actually compromise. Get it, Nick. Get it at the top right now.
I would sooner do this afterwards, whereas you're like, oh, put it there now. Right. Anyway.
Because it is.
Holly put it as a third. I would have gone third.
It's ridiculous, this notion of, oh, it doesn't belong with Disney. Why? Why have we decided that this isn't a Disney film? Because it's
about a rapist.
And Lion King has got bloody fratricide in it, and murder, and ecological disasters. The whole point of Disney is that they tackle incredibly dark topics in a way that kids can access it. And I did not know, watching this as a kid, that Frollo was a creep. I just had him down as a bad man. Kids don't know that. That's something you pick up on later when you're aware of the context. The only flaw with this film is the gargoyles. That's the only valid criticism I will accept of this film. Music stunning, setting stunning, characters beautiful. And I've compromised there because you know damn well I'd have put it in first. I have compromised.
Well, you're saying this because you've used 2 of your vetoes and I've not used any yet. So
yeah, but I don't think I need them for anything else.
Oh, do you not?
I genuinely don't. I don't think there's anything else I really
I
care
think
about.
mine are coming up.
I think there's maybe one, but I'll see where you've put it first.
Okay. Hercules.
You're gonna put this dead high, aren't you?
No, hang on. Holly's got it in
this as a third.
Holly's got it in a 2-2.
Okay.
Where would you put it?
Knowing where you've put it, I'm going to be a douche. I'm going to say third so that you have to bring it down.
Right, well, I'm vetoing it because it's a 2-1. And it's going above Hunchback.
It's not. Oh my God.
There's my veto.
Right.
There's my
so
one.
So if you're allowed some like back alley conversation with Holly about, you'll never believe this.
Yeah.
He's vetoed.
Go on then. You text her. You got a number.
Absolutely. Where is she? Hang on.
Where is she? Come on, Matthias.
Hang on.
We're getting interactive here.
Message Holly. So
Well, because the songs are great, the
They're
animation's
not.
great.
What songs are great in this?
Bless My Soul, Hurt Was on a Roll, Undefeated, Hero to
Doesn't fit the
Zero,
tone of the film
Go the
whatsoever.
Distance. Come on, Go the Distance.
Go the Distance is one song.
God,
Like, it's just nah.
It's a good film. I like it.
It's got prophecy as the main driving
Meg is
point.
all sass,
Right,
James
Meg's
Woods is
great.
Hades.
Pain and Panic are terrible.
Oh, they're not terrible.
They're terrible.
I've seen worse.
Nothing they say is funny.
They're better than the Bleeding Gargoyles, and that's in 212. So yeah. Mulan.
First, get it up there.
Thank you. I thought that was going to have to be a veto. Thank you.
Get it up there.
Where's Holly put it? Holly's put it in a 2-1.
Get it higher as well. I'd say it's better than Aladdin at least.
Bonk there.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Yeah, I love it. I think it's great. Mulan, it's so underrated.
Mulan is one of those films that genuinely grows on you every time you watch it. It's like,
yeah.
There's like thinking back to it, I'm trying to think, is there anything wrong with it really? Some of Mushu's jokes aren't funny, but some of them are really funny.
Some of Mushu's dialogue is how much can Eddie Murphy shout?
Yeah.
In the same way that like Kevin Hart made a career about 10 years ago of him going, ah! Yeah.
Yeah. But then what's the matter? Haven't you ever seen a black and white before? Down Bessie.
Down Bessie.
Dishonor on you, dishonor on your cow.
Dishonor on your cow. Oh, God. I love it. I think it's great. But, like, I'll Make a Man Out of You.
That's
such a banger. Like,
tune.
Oh, my God.
I do wish Reflections was a bit longer.
Okay. Yeah, because they released the whole song on it, didn't they? Like, Christina Aguilera did a version.
But I can't be doing with her trilling all over the place. I want a nice musical theatre number. And, like, it's really been adopted recently, in the way that the LGBT community have decided they love Defying Gravity.
Yes.
In a way that is a bit like, all right, calm down.
Yes.
The start, there's whisperings of them doing it with Reflections.
Okay.
Which for me makes a lot more sense.
It's absolutely like, if you find meaning in the song, more power to you. But like you say, I think there's some
Jerry Goldsmith music.
Oh my God!
Where she cuts her hair.
She's on the horse. She leaves the family. Oh my God!
I'm welling up now thinking about it. If I watched that now, I would have tears streaming down my face.
What a song! What a remake! Like, is it like Mulan's Decision or something like that? Hang on, I've got it on my phone. Where is it? What's it called?
Hey, don't play it. We'll get copyright struck.
I know. Mulan's Decision. Oh, my God. Go have it.
Go
listen to it, people.
Peak 90s soundtrack. You can imagine that being played in, like, a Nick Cage or Keanu Reeves action film in the 90s.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's like John Woo doves flying.
Yeah. Flaming doves. They're so awesome. He set them on fire.
Oh, right. Tarzan.
I'm saying 2-1.
Holly's got it as a 2-2.
You've got it as a first, don't you?
No, I'm going to go 2-1.
Yeah.
It's not a first, but it is one of my favourites, definitely. But again, Phil Collins did not have to go that hard on that soundtrack.
I know, yeah. You've really won me with that argument as well.
This is just like, come on.
Yeah.
Come on. Son of Man, You'll Be in My Heart. Even Trash in the Camp, which is just a doo-wop.
Strangers Like Me.
Come on.
That's my song. I'm sorry. Yes. Like Son of Man gets a little bit for me occasionally, and like the opening song is very but Stranger Like Me, like incredible.
Yeah. Definitely. What a time.
We talked to death about the nitpicks. Like Clayton could have been a better villain, or they could have made it simple.
Yeah. But what a time. What a time period. Right. Fantasia 2000.
Shrug.
Weirdly not quite in 2000s.
Huh.
I don't think I've seen this,
Yeah, it's a shrug from me, Dave.
It's a shrug from Holly as well. So
Shrug.
I don't. Yeah. Yeah.
I know Steve Martin hosts it. I know that.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
Good for old Steve-O.
Mm.
Um, Dinosaur. I think this gets a bad rap, you know. Has Holly seen it?
Yeah.
Holly's not seen it.
I think at its core, there's a good story.
There's a good story, and I think the selling point that they were going for is that it's this new type of animation that they're trying out.
Yeah.
You know,
It's a bit ugly though.
it is a bit honky, I'll
Yeah.
admit. You know, I remember when it came out. I remember really sort of backing it when it came out. But again, I think there was a game tie-in that I had quite an affinity for. You know, as well at the same time.
Hmm.
I'd go 2-2.
Low 2-2, but I think that's fair.
Okay, okay.
It
Because
just
I don't think it's a
one of them.
fail.
The jokes don't land as well. Like the writing's a bit off there.
It's. I think at that period of time where it would have hit us, so used to this sort of like stellar animation, to then go to something
Hmm.
that looks different,
I do love
and you're
Aladar
having
as a
to sort of,
character.
yeah, yeah, you know,
Aladar's quite good.
yeah, and you're having to sort of like figure it out, and then you revert back to Emperor's New Groove.
This is a weird one, Emperors.
It is because I think the elements of it that are funny. Holly's got it as a 2-2.
I'd say, yeah, that's the thing. On any given day, I can have it as a first. I can have it as a 2-2.
I'd go 2-2.
Really? Okay.
2-2.
Okay, fine. It is funny. It's easily one of
It's funny, but I don't like what else is there to it?
I don't know, like Yzma and Kronk are genuinely hilarious. Like they're up there with Captain Hook as like funniest Disney villains.
Yeah. This is
And as well,
this next one. Go on.
Eartha Kitt had a song cut. Yzma
Huh?
gets a song in like the
How do you
original.
cut Eartha Kitt from a
I
soundtrack?
know, and it's incredible. Like her
Jesus
villain song was
Christ.
really good, especially because this is one of the few times where I think like a weird, excuse me, a weird like anachronistic music style works because it is quite a modern bit of writing, isn't it? So it kind of
Yeah.
works in the setting.
Yeah.
And she got a very similar vibe to that opening number. What's his name? Like it's really similar to that, and it's like,
God.
oh, okay, but okay, yeah, 2-2.
This next one's a weird one. Atlantis: The Lost Empire.
I love Atlantis.
I remember watching it, right, and really being like, "Oh, look at this! It's good, isn't it?" Da, da, da. I do think it's a bit boring, though.
No, I love Atlantis. I think it's a really good. It's a really good Indiana Jones-esque film. You know, not a caper. I don't know what you'd call
Yeah,
that kind of film.
I
You
suppose
know,
it
in
is a
the
cape. I like the idea of like an exploration. You know what?
yeah.
Right, when I watched the trailer for Strange World the other day
Mm.
because the page has come up on Disney Plus. Because as we record this, Strange World is going to be on Disney Plus on Friday, the 23rd. And I said to Ruby, we can watch this on Friday. And she said, show me the trailer. She watched the trailer and she went, I don't want to watch that. But it reminded me of Atlantis. It's that same kind of film, I think, that they're trying to go for.
I love the aesthetic of
Yeah.
Atlantis. The way, like, the submarine and that giant lobster thing. I love the Atlantis. I love the lore. I love how they create the language for it. I love the very distinct personalities that all the crew members have, and they take time to learn a bit about their backstories and stuff like that. The only like flaw I can think of throughout the film is the villain's plan just being a bit, like Clayton is in it just for the money,
Yeah.
and it's a bit similar here, but it is quite a good rug pull.
Yeah.
Like I do really enjoy this. I think high 2-2 at the least.
Yeah, I'll go 2-2 with you.
I'd even be tempted to push it for 2-1 because like the writing's incredible. There's the right amount of mystery in it. You don't know exactly what's happening when she turns into the crystal.
Yeah.
There's the right amount of intrigue in it, and it's
Not seen it in a
like,
while, you know.
yeah, and you see a relationship budding with it as well. It's really good writing, which I hate to say because it's Josh Whedon, but it is genuinely
one of many.
it's so well written. It's Michael J. Fox doing voiceover, which you would never think is a good idea, but it really is.
Yeah. Lilo and Stitch.
I don't really like this.
Okay.
I like the stuff with Lilo and Nanny. I do think
Mm.
Lilo is just insufferable though, and I get that she's a kid.
Are you like I never really understand where these things come from, but there's been a bit of a Stitch groundswell, and
Yeah.
all of a sudden he's on
People
stuff
love
again.
Stitch. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know where that's come from.
I don't either. Like, I don't get this film.
Holly's
Like,
got it as a 2-2.
I
I'd
might
go
be.
2-2.
Yeah, fine. I'll agree. I could say third, honestly.
I don't think it's bad.
There's some moments in it I really like. Like, I
Yeah.
love the stuff with like Mr. Bubbles trying to like act with them, but it's just this weird backdrop of aliens, and it's like, why?
Yeah. Treasure Planet.
I kind of love Treasure Planet.
I'm glad you do, because I do.
I really like Treasure Planet. I'd put it at like
Holly's
a
not
2-1.
seen it. I had to go 2-1. It's so
Yeah.
underrated.
It's
And
so
people
underrated.
just
I'm
fell
still
off it.
here, Adam.
Oh my God, that song.
I'm still here.
I remember having I'm Still Here on a very little USB MP3 player that to skip a track, you had to like flick a button at the top of it.
Yes,
Right?
I know
And
the
the only
type
thing
you're
you
talking
could the
about.
only thing you could do was stick your headphones in it, but it was constantly on it. It held about 50 songs, but it was constantly on it. I've still got it now. Like I love it.
It's a cracking retelling of Treasure Island. Like,
I think the best ones like that, like it drew me into Treasure Island. I wanted to know more about it. I wanted to know more about where these characters had come from, what it was trying to do. Yeah.
Yeah, the comedy's really good. I love Emma Thompson's incredible in this as the captain of the Legacy.
Yeah.
I love the Doctor, played by David Hyde Pierce. I love as well that they weren't afraid to just have his dad leave instead of die. I think that's a more interesting relationship to explore because we've had plenty of dead parents in Disney.
Martin Short as Ben.
Say again?
Ben. Martin Short as Ben the robot.
Oh, him I hate.
Really?
Yeah, I hate.
I was all over Ben.
Most of the things that Martin Short is in, I can't stand because he's just like what you said about Eddie Murphy in Mulan. I feel like that's Martin Short's entire career.
Right. Okay.
Like his entire thing is, how loud can I go right now?
Have you watched Only Murders in the Building?
No, I've heard good things about it.
Yeah, I want to watch it. I've not seen it yet though.
The only thing I've seen Martin Short in that I unequivocally enjoyed him in was his brief appearance in Arrested Development.
Right.
He's quite funny in that, but yeah,
he plays a bit of a scoundrel in The Morning Show.
Okay.
Which is on Apple TV. He's a friend of Steve Carell, and when Steve Carell gets found out of being like a philanderer, basically, Martin Short's just a bit like, who cares? You know, these things happen, and it's like, oh, here we go.
Yeah, I love the comedy in this film, in spite of Ben. Ben, I do find genuinely annoying. But yeah, it's 2-1. It's a cracking film.
Have you seen Brother Bear?
I have.
I haven't, and Holly hasn't.
I can't stand it. I don't think it's not a fail. Like, it's got a Phil Collins soundtrack again.
I feel like they tried to just capitalize on that.
Yeah, but I think it didn't work.
Okay.
The only song you'll have heard is probably On My Way.
Yeah.
Tell everybody I'm on my way.
Yeah.
There's an interesting dynamic in there of like there's no real villain. Like the whole plot is that a human gets turned into a bear, having tried to kill another bear by the spirits, and it's like his brother thinks that this bear killed his brother, so he's out to kill him, and he takes over being a brother to the bear whose mum he killed.
That's a bit weird.
And it's it's nah.
Okay.
Third.
Third.
I
Right.
don't like it.
I'm getting into a few now that I must admit I've not seen. Home on the Range.
It's a shrug, but I have heard terrible things about it.
I've not seen it. Holly's not seen it.
Should we shrug it?
So it's shrugging. Chicken Little.
Shrug.
Shrug.
Again,
Meet
I've
the
heard terrible.
Robinsons.
Ha! Meet the Robinsons. Has Holly seen
Shrug
it?
for me. No, shrug for me and Hall.
Right. I would probably put Meet the Robinsons at 2-2.
Okay.
It is mental.
Right.
It is just it's a hyperactive film is the best way I can describe it.
Okay.
It's quite funny. Might be worth I think it's worth a watch.
Right.
And
Might be a really good one.
Yeah, there's a really nice. Yeah, it's so the whole plot is there's a kid who's up for adoption, and he gets rescued by this kid from the future for this family called the Robinsons, who he thinks, oh, I'm going to really fit in with this family. And there's this guy in a bowler hat called Bowler Hat Guy, and the bowler hat is a robot who does evil things, and he's trying to mess with him, and there's a mystery as to why.
Right.
But it's very much a comedy. I remember laughing out loud at one point where he bowler hat guy animates a T-Rex and gets a mini bowler hat on the top to make it a slave, and the character's standing in this corner, and the T-Rex is trying to grab him, and the bowler hat guy's like, "Why aren't you seizing the boy?" And the T-Rex in this kind of muffled voice is like, "I have a big head and little arms. I just don't think you thought this plan through very well."
Oh dear.
I just remember creasing with laughter at his derpy voice. And
Oh god.
It's one of George's favorites. It is funny.
Right.
There's a point as well where they kind of take the mick out of, old dubbed Japanese films.
Yeah.
Where the way that the actors are talking is very much in keeping with that, and it does not sync up with the lip movements at all.
Right.
Which is quite a fun meta joke. But it is just it's an insane film. And I respect that you could watch it and be like, that was bloody awful.
Yeah. But it's trying to do a lot.
Yeah, it's just constantly, it's very hyperactive. But
right,
I think the funny stuff does land more than it doesn't. And there are some genuinely quite touching, sweet moments in it. I won't spoil it.
Yeah.
But there is quite towards the end, there is a very touching and sweet moment for how it all kind of resolves, which is nice.
Bolt.
Have you seen it?
I've not seen Bolt. Holly's not seen Bolt. Nope.
Similar. I'd say 2-2. I think John Travolta is actually a weirdly good choice of actor for Bolt in this. Because he's just so sincere. The whole plot. Do you know the plot of Bolt?
Not a clue. The only thing I know about Bolt is that every now and again, my friend who does this a lot, who thinks that I've seen things, says something like something Bolt and Rhino.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, I can tell you think that's really funny to the thing that's just happened, but I ain't got a clue what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Bolt is a dog owned by a girl initially voiced by Chloe Grace Moretz and then voiced by Miley Cyrus.
Oh.
And this girl is like a super spy. And she does missions to save the world, except it's a TV show. But Bolt doesn't know it's a TV show. He thinks he's got all of these
confused dog.
Yeah. So he is like a genetically engineered dog in the plot of this show. So he has he can run really, really fast.
Yeah.
And he can do a super bark that can flip over tanks and stuff
and
like
he
that.
thinks he can actually do that.
He thinks he can actually do that, but he can't. And he ends up his human goes missing, and he goes out to try and rescue her. And he ends up in the real world and they get separated. It's about bringing them together again.
Oh.
It's quite a good film. And there's a really nice song that John Travolta and Miley Cyrus duet. And it's nice.
That's a sentence I didn't think I'd hear.
It's genuinely like it's a pretty good song. It's a nice little vaguely country head bopper. You know, like Life is a Highway from Cars.
Oh yeah, Rascal Flats.
Yeah, similar kind of
Oh,
vibe
yeah.
to Rascal Flats.
Okay. I'm gonna say underrated here. Princess and the Frog.
2-1 at least.
2-1.
2-1 at least.
Easy 2-1. Holly's got it as a
Yeah.
2-2, but I'm in for a 2-1 here.
Holly's miserable.
How dare you?
Annika Rice. Annika Rose. Sorry, not Annika Rice. She's
Annika Rice. Challenge Annika.
She's a white British TV presenter. Annika Rose maybe has the best voice of any Disney princess. It's just so pure. Her tone. It's gorgeous. And Keith David, my boy, as a Disney villain. We have needed that for years. Thank you.
It was this return to form, I think, of like going back to that style of animation,
and they'll never do it again because it didn't make money. It's really annoying.
But weirdly, I do think it's kind of, for lack of a better word, infiltrated Disney parks, infiltrated.
Oh yeah, the merchandising for Princess and the Frog is massive.
Yeah,
I think people love Tiana.
When we did Disney on Ice recently, there was a whole bit for Princess and the Frog. It was very short, but there was a whole bit, you know.
There is a weird subsection as well, because obviously some of the Disney princes will be voted on as like thirst traps, shall we say?
Yeah.
And for a long, long time, Eric head and shoulders above everyone else. Yeah. And I get that. Eric's pretty sweet. And he actually murders the villain by ramming a boat into her abdomen. Pretty hardcore. Naveem is a handsome man. And a weirdly handsome frog.
Was that it? All right, okay.
A weirdly handsome frog. Like Naveem, yeah, he's a good boy.
If you're into frogs, he's your guy.
Yeah, but if you're not, you get like human Naveem, yeah.
Yeah. Right. Tangled.
Get it in first.
Are you mad?
No.
Holly's got it as a 2-1. I'm like a third.
Oh, behave.
No, seriously.
Veto.
It's not that good.
Veto.
You're putting it in a first as your veto.
I'll put it in 2-1.
Is this your final veto?
Pretty sure. Yes, it is.
Yeah. Oh my God, I do not agree with that.
How do you not like Tangled?
I just don't think it's that good.
There is a firm argument that is a better film than Frozen.
I find them both to be equally annoying.
Yeah, but that's because you have a child of that kind of age.
No, because even before Ruby was around, me and Amy watched Tangled and Frozen, and we were just like, eh.
Tangled is genuinely great. The music's really nice. She's really well realized as a character. I love how well they portray an abusive parental relationship in it as well. It's incredible.
I really don't get it.
It's really good. It's a really good retelling of Rapunzel, classic fairy tale.
Huh?
Okay. Pascal's great. Maximus, best horse in film.
Whoa!
Sod your boy in El Dorado.
Excuse me.
Maximus is the boy.
Not bring Altivo into this.
That moment where he goes into the bar and he literally just like gets his hooves in between a group of guys and just shoves them aside. Gets me every single time. Where Flynn is fighting, like Maximus is holding a sword in between his teeth, and Flynn is fighting him with a pan. Just beautiful.
I've never been so offended on behalf of a horse in my life.
Well, Maximus is he's not a horse, he's the goat.
Disgrace. Winnie the Pooh?
Shrug.
Shrug for Hall. I remember it happening.
I think you just put that in
fail. I put it in a fail. Sorry, Winnie. We need to shrug you. Wreck-It Ralph.
Wreck-It Ralph's amazing.
Holly's gone 2-2.
What are you going?
I'd go 2-2.
Ah, you miserable buggers. I'd be saying
I don't think it's that good.
I really like it.
I
Like
feel
how
like
it
it was trying
captures.
to do stuff, but it flopped a little bit.
No, I think it really managed to capture video game culture. I think it's like because this is like the middle of like the twist villain era of Disney. This is
Yeah.
easily the best one. That twist was unreal. Proper
Do you
rough.
think?
Like, yes. Like, don't get me wrong. You probably could have seen it. Like, you probably could have seen it coming, but it does change how you view that film because there's a moment where you think King Candy is being genuine. It's like they try and play it off really well. That moment where he's like, if they pull the plug on the game, she'll die. So I can't let her race. And you think he's doing it. You think he's doing that thing of kings have to make horrible decisions, and it's really nice. And then it's a rug pull, which is really nice. Like
Okay.
I really like Wreck-It Ralph. I think it's really clever in how it gets video game references in there. I think the message in it is really good. I think there's some genuinely good heartfelt moments in there. How they managed to get Sarah Silverman acting and not being annoying,
I mean, she's
other than
still
when she's
annoying.
meant to be, is like,
Uh,
and John C. Riley, he's so good in that film.
okay.
He's so good.
Okay. Frozen.
Where are you putting this?
Oh.
Because I'd be saying, like, because I think it gets overhated just because kids fell in love with it.
Holly's got it as a 2-1. I think that's too high.
No, I think it's a 2-1 as well.
Oh, you can both start off veto.
Ah, you miserable git.
It's going in a 2-2. And that's
It's
a
really,
compromise because I would have put it as a third.
again, that like, because I'm willing to accept the flaws of it. I hate the liar reveal. I hate the plot reveal in this. I don't think it makes sense.
I just think soundtrack wise, do you want to build a snowman? Who cares? Right?
Yeah, don't like
Everyone's
that.
loving Let It Go.
Let It Go is incredible, though. I
It's
remember.
fine.
No, it's incredible. I remember the first time I heard, like, don't get me wrong, it has been overplayed to death. It
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
has. It really has. But at the same time, I remember the first time I heard those like opening piano notes, I did get chills. And I remember listening to the song and thinking, they've got something special here. They've got a damn good song. And I love In Summer. I think In Summer is hilarious.
In Summer's funny. I'll give you that.
I love
And
Fixer Upper.
yeah.
I love it. And like,
Big Summer Blowout is one of the only things that I like
yeah,
about it.
I love Oaken.
Big Summer Blowout.
Big Summer Blowout.
Big
That
Summer
would be in our
Blowout.
winter department. Yeah, I love him.
And I genuinely, I will say this, and Amy feels exactly the same way as me. The stage show trumps the film,
That wouldn't
like
surprise me.
by a country mile.
That wouldn't
Like
surprise me.
me and Amy watched that, and we were like, huh, "Don't get it. It's a bit overrated."
The stage show doesn't have Adina's voice as Elsa, and for the sake, like, that's what annoys me about Let It Go is other
Don't
people
you
trying to sing it.
dare cast shade on Samantha Barks on this
But
podcast.
she's not. I love Samantha Barks.
Don't
I love
you
Samantha
dare.
Barks. She's not singing
She
it in the
is
right
a-
key.
Don't you dare.
She's not singing
She
it in
is
the
a
right key.
goddess.
And it's annoying because I know that she can. I know how good Samantha Barks is, and she could sing it in the right key.
Stop it. Right. Anyway, I'd go and watch that again. Big Hero 6.
I really like Big Hero 6. I think it's one of those. I think it's one of those films that I really slept on, and then every time
Holly's not seen it. I will admit it surprised me when I watched it for the first time.
It's a lot better than it has any right to be.
It looks very pretty. San Francisco,
Yeah, it's a nice little concept. It is funny.
2-1?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Let's go 2-1. Last few to get through before I can go and eat my final meal. I'm not dying, people. I just got to fast for a day. Zootopia.
First.
What?
It's incredible.
Again, I do not see this. Holly's got it as a 2-1.
Right. Having a kids' film manage to get across a message about racism this well is incredible. And doing it with likable characters, with, I think Holly said this, and I do agree with her on reflection when she said it. She's a sucker for people who are just good at their job, and Judy Hopps is good at her job.
Yeah, she is.
I like the mystery element to it. It's really well written. I love the design of the world. All of the jokes are funny. I love Nick Wilde. He's so funny. And his backstory is really horrifying. That moment where you see him as a cub, it hits everything. It is such a good film.
I went to college with Nick Wilde, and I think that's what threw me off. I'm gonna meet you at 2-1 with Holly. I'm not vetoing it.
Well, you can't.
Well, I've got one left. No, I've got one left.
No, you vetoed.
I used Hercules and I used Frozen.
And Tangled.
Bollocks.
You vetoed Tangled. You're out.
Bollocks, I did. Bollocks. Right. Giving me timbers. Right.
Because honestly, Zootropolis is amazing. The acting's incredible. The animation's incredible. The look's incredible. Jokes are. Action is. Nothing wrong with that
because
film.
I think you're going to be really mean now on a couple of films. Right, anyway. Moana.
I like Moana. I could probably put it in a 2-1. It's a low 2-1 for me.
Thank you.
It's a low 2-1 for me.
Like, it's more of a Ruby thing. Yeah.
I love Maui. I love the giant crab. I wish I knew how to sing his song.
Shiny.
Yeah. Hey is funnier than he has any right to be.
Yes.
And Moana mostly manages to not be annoying, which is nice. So yeah. Fine.
Ralph Breaks the Internet.
Well,
Shrug for me and Hal.
See, I would have put this into 2-2 and had Wreck-It Ralph higher.
Right.
Personally. Because again,
put it in 2-2.
Yeah, I like what it was trying to do. It was I think.
Was it trying to be a bit meta?
Not quite. It's like it's just trying to get across quite complicated ideas. Like they try and get like a DDoS attack in there and stuff like that. It's really mental and like shutting down the internet. It's got some quite nice comments on like internet culture and like how it can form insecurity and stuff like that. Like, people putting mean comments on the internet and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It is, although having said that, it is quite meta because there's like a Disney website where she meets all the princesses.
Oh, right, yeah.
And that's quite a funny scene, actually. But yeah.
Frozen 2.
Again, probably similar. I would have had Frozen higher up and maybe put Frozen 2 with where you've got Frozen.
Okay.
I will say, have you not seen Frozen
2? No, I have. Holly's put it in the third.
Into the Unknown is incredible. I do remember genuinely like open-mouthed weeping at that song. Just being blown away by how
you are such an emotional man.
Hey, Into the Unknown. Have you heard Into the Unknown?
Of course I have. I've got a 6-year-old.
And
I've heard her sing it.
Olaf's song I really love as well.
You know which is the one that gets belted out in the car? Lost in the Woods.
Lost in the Woods. Which again, there's loads.
I turn around to find
I am lost in the
woods.
Because I think they realised, we had Jonathan Groff in the last film, and we didn't really make him sing, which is
let's have him do an 80s ballad.
Yeah. That's one thing I remember being the takeaway from this film is individually the songs are really funny most of the time. Yeah. I hate the opening one because it's just a clone of Some Things Never Change. I hate that song.
This is the most contemporary example that I give in class of Chekhov's gun. They do a massive sweeping shot of a dam, right?
Yeah.
And the first time I watched it, I went, I wonder what's going to break and what else is going to have to freeze.
That dam wasn't there last time.
Oh, I wonder what's going to happen here.
Yeah. Olaf is hilarious in this. That moment where he gets startled and says Samantha.
Yeah.
And then he's like, I don't even know a Samantha. And then leading up to his song being about things will all make sense when I'm older, which is a nice meta joke because it's like, that's how every kid feels going into films like this. It'll all make sense when you're older.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
Right. Last two. One that I want to go to bat for more than the other. Raya and the Last Dragon.
I love Raya and the Last Dragon.
Good. I'm glad.
I
I'm glad.
love Raya and the Last Dragon. The acting is incredible. The action's incredible. Like similar kind of vibe with Zootropolis for me.
Yeah, I'm putting it in a 2-1.
Yeah, like
Holly's
love
not
Raya.
seen it.
It was better. It was so much like don't get me wrong. I say it's better than it had any right to be, but I was actually genuinely excited to see it from the first trailer.
Yeah,
I
I
remember
really
thinking,
enjoyed it. I enjoyed it much
this
more than I thought I would do.
Yeah, this is really interesting. It's a good concept. I like how they're doing it.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
The characters are all. I need to go. I've only seen it once, but I do need to go and watch
I
it
want to
again.
watch it again. Yeah. Holly's got this as a third. Encanto.
I'd agree.
I think that's harsh.
Maybe it is, but at the same time,
I'm not going to go too high on it. I'll admit.
I just remember the hype around it because it's like, ooh, Lin-Manuel's involved. Messer Lin-Manuel, who can do no wrong. It's like, oh,
he's on his Lin-Manuel rant.
He's okay.
Right. I've put it in 2-2. I feel like 2-2 is fair.
Fine.
Now, the reason why I think 2-2 is fair is because I do think some of the songs are very well done. And I think the animation is quite striking. My issue with it is the story, I think.
Yeah.
Fundamentally. In that I don't really care that you've all got powers and one of you hasn't.
And it's this kind of psychotic, God's teaching you a lesson by being an abusive psychopath.
Yeah.
Let's have Mirabelle go through years of not having powers and feeling like the black sheep in her family, just so Abuelita can be taught a lesson. Why not do something a bit more direct, Cosita? Christ's sake.
Like, I will say that the whole thing around we don't need to talk about Bruno is very similar to how I felt about City of Stars with La La Land, in that I knew this song was coming. I knew that everyone was raving about it, and I didn't feel the same way as everybody else did about it. I really like Dos Orgutas. You think it's a Remember Me light, but I really like it. I think it's a lovely song.
I'm glad that the hype around Surface Pressure has dropped as well.
It's all right, you know.
I like it, but it's like, it's very, we've got our contemporary pop song to appeal to the kids. Like
as exposition goes, the Madrigal family song is very well done. Because it gets so much information in such a short amount of time.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, I was going to say something. Can I say it? I don't know. Yeah.
Go for it.
Christmas wise, my concern here is that I'm spoiling Christmas for people. We've got Ruby some dolls from Encanto, and we found them months ago because she's got a Mirabelle, she's got an Isabella. They weren't selling a Louisa. They weren't selling a Louisa anywhere. But then we found a 4-pack that's got Mirabelle, Isabella, Louisa, and one of the others in. So it's like, well, clearly we need to buy this then. So again, this is the thing when you have kids, it becomes one of these things that it's a hunt for toys and it's a hunt for that thing and that thing and that thing.
Yeah.
Like the only reason why really me and Amy were looking forward to going watching Disney on Ice again recently is so that we could get a Maui hook, because we didn't get a Maui hook last time. And
what's the name of Mirabelle's actress again?
It's Stephanie Beatrice.
That's it, Stephanie Beatrice. She's incredible.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine, where she plays a very different character.
Yeah.
I didn't know she could sing. Like I didn't know she could sing.
Yeah.
I love her. She's incredible in this.
Like the only things that's low-key one of the best, John Leguizamo. Leguizamo, yeah. I think he's great.
Yeah, I do like the about turn they take on Bruno. Like that's quite a nice moment. And they even have the little thing as well of they trick you into thinking he's the villain because you've been taught, you, Adam Farrand, and me, because we are of that age.
Yeah.
We have been taught that green is the color of evil.
Oh, I thought you meant that I've been taught that anyone who's living in my walls is evil.
Also that, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
But yeah, green is the color of evil.
yeah.
Like in
Green
Disney,
is evil.
Maleficent
Yeah,
magic is all green. Be Prepared has got a lot of green around it.
yeah,
Ursula's spells bring on green and stuff like that. There's like green motifs throughout every like big villainous moment.
yeah.
So for Bruno's power to be green is quite a nice little nod
He's
to
a
that.
bad guy. Yeah.
Yeah, I cannot. I've decided I hate Lin Manuel Miranda. I don't get him.
Oh.
He annoys me.
Have you
Just
watched Tick Tick Boom yet?
no.
Come
I'm
on.
sure he's a lovely bloke, but he can't sing, and
Where's my Hamilton poster? Oh, there it
he's
is.
okay at writing music, and he's stolen a living around it.
Dare you? I'm not
Like
having these ticks. You're on about
genuinely,
horses. You're on about Lin Manuel.
yeah, genuinely, the only thing I can stomach, like genuinely be like, yeah, like there's obviously the odd hot song in Hamilton that we've talked about, and we've got but Moana, that's the only one where all the music in it I love.
Okay.
And he sings in the bit where the natives are singing, and it's like you're not. You can't
I
sing
will
this,
I will
surely.
admit to you that I don't think he is the best singer.
No.
I think he's better at writing. And sometimes I do.
That's how bad he is at singing, because he's just about better at writing.
Sometimes I think maybe leave off this one, but yeah.
I'm
Right.
largely happy with that.
Let's work through then quickly.
I tell you what, we've been stingy with the first in the end, haven't we?
We have, haven't we? I'm not going to do a shuffle round because I'm going to run out of time on my clock. And we've got another one to do, yeah. So, shrugs of ones that we've not seen. Saludos Amigos, The Three Caballeros, Make Mine Music, Fun and Fancy Free, Melody Time, Ichabod and Mr. Toad, Fantasia 2000, Home on the Range, Chicken Little and Winnie the Pooh, The Only Fail, Black Cauldron. In a third, Fantasia, Aristocats, Winnie the Pooh, Pocahontas and Brother Bear. 2-2, Jungle Book, Oliver and Company, Robin Hood, Lady and the Tramp, Pinocchio, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, Dumbo, Bambi, Cinderella, Alice in Wonderland, The Rescuers, Dinosaur, The Emperor's New Groove, Atlantis, The Lost Empire, Lilo and Stitch, Meet the Robinsons, Bolt, Wreck-It Ralph, Frozen, Ralph Breaks the Internet, Frozen 2, and Encanto. 2-1, Tarzan, Hercules, Hunchback of Notre Dame, Sword in the Stone, Peter Pan, 100 More Dalmatians, Sleeping Beauty, Fox and the Hound, Basil the Great Mouse Detective, The Rescuers Down Under, Treasure Planet, Princess and the Frog, Tangled, Big Hero 6, Zootopia, Moana, and Raya and the Last Dragon. And then the only ones in first, Beauty and the Beast, Lion King, Mulan, Aladdin, and The Little Mermaid. That's all right.
If you're allowed to move one up or down, what would you do?
Jungle Book.
Jungle Book to first.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what mine would be. Because you're probably looking at me thinking it's got to be Hunchback. Why are you being stupid? But like I've always acknowledged that Hunchback is a flawed film.
Yeah.
And it's not for everyone, so I'm happy with it in 2-1. I probably would try and make a harder argument for Zootropolis.
Okay.
I genuinely think it's that good. I like.
Okay.
Looking at that, or making. Oh, actually, maybe no Zootropolis, because Wreck-It Ralph is a nice, fun film, but
You'd have Zootropolis.
yeah, or maybe I'd be saying that Aristocats is a fail.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I genuinely hate it with a passion.
Wow. All right. Well, that was a bit of a mammoth one. I'm assuming somewhere, not including Ollie's restart time, it came out as around about 2 hours. So have fun if you watch that.
Might be a two-parter.
Congratulations. I mean, you can watch. I'm fed up of splitting things into two now. If you, I tell you what I'll do. I'll release it on Christmas Eve, and then if you're cooking your Christmas dinner tomorrow, I mean, you're at the end of it. Why am I saying it now? Like, while you cook your Christmas dinner, just have the hindsight of going, it's 2 hours long. I'll watch it while I cook my Christmas dinner.
You can see how long the play bar is. It's
there.
Yeah, it tells you.
And you'll go, well, I'm gonna have to peel spuds and stuff, so I'll do it then.
Yeah, roasted turkey. That takes about 15 hours.
There you go, winner. On changing batteries in toys or putting batteries in. There you go. Right.
Building Lego for the kids and pretending that's not what you secretly planned the entire
Probably
time.
building Lego for myself. You know,
hopefully. I don't know what Lego I'd be getting, but hopefully.
Well, I've got a Sanctum Sanctorum downstairs that I've not opened yet. That I bought for myself.
I will probably get a Lego voucher actually because I've got about 200 quid's worth so far.
Nice. I feel like I should do that.
I think I'm saving up for that Star Destroyer. I think I don't care how big it is, how impractical it is.
Yeah.
I want that. I know people will say, "Oh, what about the Millennium Falcon?" Cool. Star Destroyer.
600 quid though for Millennium Falcon. Like, come on.
I know. Well, it's the same for the Star Destroyer. So.
Oh, fair enough.
It's like it'll be like that big.
Yeah.
It will be like a meter long. It'll be a beast.
Amy's got me some for Christmas. And the words that she said to me were, "You won't have picked it yourself," which worries me.
So it ain't Batman.
So I'm like, what is it going to be? But I don't know if she's just done like a bit of a pee take and got me something that I wouldn't usually pick.
The apartment from Friends?
I've already done that. No, not the apartment. I've done Central Perk. So maybe. Maybe. I'm just needing to swap my speaker a second because I feel like my headphones have died because I'm getting a lot of static. There we go. Right. So, look after yourselves, people. That's still static. All right. Anyway. Yeah. So look after yourselves. Not helping. Nothing's helping. Christ Almighty. Let's try again. Right. Look after yourselves. Stay safe. Look after yourselves. Have a good Christmas. Have a good New Year. If we don't see you before with our top 10 sequels, I might make that the first one of 2023. There you go. This can be the Christmassy one for those that are interested in wanting to listen. Head over to our sponsor, Off-World Tees. I'd say use the code Farrand for 15% off your order, but they've been having a lot of use a code Xmas double for 24% off. So you'd get more with that one. If you're interested in going buying a t-shirt from those guys. And we will see you next time.